Hello students, in this audio session I will continue with my discussion on note making only. I have already discussed a bit of note making in my previous audio session, so let me continue. Now headings and subheadings. The heading reflects the main theme, whereas the subheadings point out how it has been developed. The selection of proper heading and subheading reveals the grasp of the passage by the students. Now, the accuracy of writing a proper note making format. Let me explain once again. The accuracy of writing a proper note making format depends on how much you have understood a passage. It depends on that. In the absence of proper assimilation of main ideas and subsidiary points, it is impossible to make notes. Yes, if there is absence of proper assimilation of main ideas and subpoints, then obviously you can't write note, or note making will be totally incomplete or wrong. So there should be a proper assimilation of ideas, considering taking the main points and the sub points or sub points. It should be a proper assimilation or assembling of ideas, then only it is possible. Otherwise it is impossible to make notes. Abbreviations and symbols. They are used for precision and economy of words, and hence quite helpful in note making. At least 4 recognizable abbreviations are to be used in note making in your board examinations. I already told you in my previous audio lecture session that at least 4 abbreviations are a must as far as the CBSE demands in the board examination. These are essential components of note making. Now, students often make use of abbreviations and symbols in doing their written work. Definitely, while you are writing down the main format of note making, at that time you can you can give symbols and abbreviations, you can mark it up with pencil. Later you can select any 4 out of many other abbreviations that you are giving in the note making format, and you can select any 4, and later you can prepare a box after you write the summary, and after that you can write those abbreviations. Now, having said about the summary, dear students, one thing is to be noted, that for summary again you don't have to read the entire passage. For summary, you have to look into the format of note making that you have created, because the summary has to be written considering that particular format. For that again, reading the passage is not needed. Now, note form. While making notes, the whole information is listed in note form in points only. Notes should not be written in complete sentences. If you go through the solved note making examples that I have given, you will find that in points it is written, not in lengthy sentences, in one word, or rather you can say in a complete sentence, but not more than that. It should be written in a well organized form, and most importantly, as I have discussed in my previous audio lecture session also, it should be short as well as it should be compact. And notes should not be written in complete sentences, as we can't remember the whole information. One-liner information. Complete sentence, one-liner, remember it. Not more than that. Don't make it lengthy. Then ultimately it is not a note making, it becomes something like an essay. So that is what I am trying to say. So only the main points are to be listed, one under the other and numbered. Yes, so the main thing is that only the main points are to be expressed, one after the other, and they should be numbered. Now, it implies the logical division and subdivision of the listed information by using figures, letters, dashes and spaces. These things you can use, figures, letters, dashes and spaces, in order to construct a note making in a note making format. All examples and figurative speeches are to be eliminated, but numbering and indentation are must. Now, what is indentation? I told you about it, numbering and syntax. Now what exactly is indentation? Indentation actually means leaving space at the beginning of a line of print or writing. First write the title and then write down the notes in a logical order or manner. From the main headings to the subheadings, the numbering should be spaced a little to the right. Yes, it related with the structure. Now from the main heading to the subheadings, the numbering should be spaced a little towards the right side. Now finally, the important thing is that to sum up the conclusion, note making is a very skillful, very useful skill. Now the important thing is that in academic life, in school or board examination, it should be done in a very professional way, because it is the art of writing down something in a very shortcut manner, so but in a clear and compact and understandable manner. So there lies the art of note making. Now how to write notes? Now the important thing is that step by step we can analyze it. 5 important steps are there. Number 1, we have to read the passage very carefully. Next one, we have to know the theme and the subject matter of the passage. You may ask yourself, and here I quote, what is this passage about? This will provide you the gist. Yes, you can ask a question in your mind after you get a passage that you are about to solve. What is this passage all about? If you can get a proper answer, then obviously 50% of your job is done. For that reason, you have to understand the main theme of the passage. And for that reason, you can question yourself, what is this passage all about? Read carefully. Identify main ideas and important supporting details. You have to identify the main ideas, and not only the main ideas but also important supporting details. Make notes of the main ideas under headings and add subpoints under subheadings. Now this is very important. All these are related with the format of note making. Headings, and under that subpoints are to be given. Subheadings are also should be given. That means heading or subheadings are a must. Some also give subpoints also, breaking down the subheadings into other points, subheadings we can say. Now these things are related with the structure of note making. Proper layout or format is a must. Sequential form, tabular form or chart form, it depends on you how you construct a note making. Pie chart, graphs or diagrams etc. can be given, but in exam it is not needed. Normal way, if you do the note making on a normal structure, it is important. It is up to that. That will be enough. And finally, recognizable abbreviations wherever possible are a must. Abbreviations are to be recognized, and recognizable abbreviations are to be given. Which word you are giving abbreviation, try to identify those words and write in box, so that it will be helpful for the examiner when we'll check the copies. Now the important thing is that note makings are of 2 types. One is linear and one is non-linear note making. So what is linear note making? It is the simplest form of note making, linear. It is used by most of the people. It is one of the most common form of note making, and we actually will follow the linear note making process. Notes presented here is in a very structured manner, one line after the other. Here a person writes a note in the form of heading, subheading and points. It also includes keywords, indentation and abbreviations. Not only that, it includes keywords, indentions and abbreviations also. Now what is non-linear note making? What exactly is this? I talked about pie charts, diagrams. Now those things falls under the category of non-linear note making. Not the simplistic way, but in a very critical, creative manner the note making is done. That is actually non-linear note making. For your knowledge, you please listen to it. Let me try to explain this also. Normally in case of nonlinear note making, diagrammatical representation is given of ideas and details are represented, and in case of nonlinear note making, sometimes pie charts, diagrams are also used. So let me continue. Here one can write notes as the diagrammatical representation of ideas and details. It includes maps, tree diagrams of flowchart, as we know, tables and flowcharts. I talked about it. It quickly helps us go through the details more quickly and clearly. There is no fixed format for it, yes, but in our exam we have a fixed format of note making, but in case of non-linear note making there is no fixed format. With the help of diagrams, with the help of tables and flowchart, it can be expressed or it can be written or it can be structured. And one advantage it has over linear note making, that the ideas are more easily and quickly and clearly recognizable. Now ideas are gettable more easily and quickly, and the important thing is it is more easily understandable. That is what I am trying to say. It is more easily understandable, and you can grasp the idea more clearly and more quickly. And but there is one more difference also. In case of linear note making, that we normally follow subpoints, points, then form numbering, then obviously indentation or indentation, all these things are maintained. But in case of non-linear note making, there is no fixed format for it. In case there lies the difference. Apart from flowcharts and diagrams, in case of non-linear note making, there is no fixed format for it. So dear students, I have discussed up to this in my in this particular audio session. Kindly go through it, and if there is any doubts, you can ask me. Thank you, students.